Okay, welcome to a very special segment of the Messy Keto Kitchen. Now, for those of you who have been watching our channel for a while, you know that this is Dean, I'm Steffi, and today we're going to be doing something completely different. We are going to be asking Dean all sorts of questions, and some of these are user-submitted questions, and some are just random questions. Dean does not like to be the center of attention, so we're going to see how this goes. But while we're asking these questions, we are eating our dinner. We are having, what is this? Kung Pao chicken. And it is keto Kung Pao chicken from the Keto Connect website. And it is amazing.
Like keto mukbang.
Keto mukbang, yeah. That's not our intention, but I mean, if you guys want to call it that, that's fine. But we're going to start asking questions. So should I go easy on you at first, Dean, or do you want me to?
Sure, let's do a slow pitch.
A slow pitch, okay. Real easy, like no big deal, no thinking.
Load it over the plate.
All these sports terms, I'm so proud. All right, Dean, what is the best cheese in the world?
Yeah. Basically, anything that is artisanally made, meaning that it's made with the old world type techniques, and somebody actually put some love into, and it's not just shitty factory stuff.
Are you gonna edit that out of there?
We'll see.
We'll see. What about American cheese?
Yeah, no.
That's not cheese. All right, that was an easy one. That was just warming you up. All right. Nicole asks, Dean, I'm going on vacation very soon. How do I discourage people from putting stuff in the overhead bin that clearly should have been checked baggage?
Bring a Bible with you and try to engage them in a philosophical, theological discussion as they walk up. And smile real big and like real friendly. They'll all pick a different bin, I promise.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I see. I thought you were going to resort to bodily harm.
Or open a bag of corn nuts.
That was like in our last video. That's like a callback to our last video and how corn nuts smell terrible. Yeah, like if
everyone
you're
will
eating
hate you, but you'll have an overhead bin to yourself.
But I think the question is more like, how do you discourage people from using the overhead bins at all? Like, not so that you don't have room, but just because they hold up the whole flow of traffic on the plane. Especially if you're flying Southwest and your bags fly for free. There's just like no stinking reason to take up everybody's time by trying to shove something up in the overhead.
Well, I mean, aside from educating a whole plane load of people on the fact that there's space in front of them, underneath the person's seat in front of them, so they mostly don't need the bin anyway.
But yeah, they should just check their bag. But I like your idea. Like, get really, really philosophical on them. That's good. All right. What would be the worst buy one, get one free sale of all time? The look on your face is just...
Well, I mean, we're butt plugs. Worst ever.
We're going to lose all sorts of subscribers if that's your real answer. How is it? That might not be a bad one for people who like them.
That's true, but I mean, even if you're in the market for one, what good is two going to do you?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
It's just like it's the most worthless 2-for-1, buy one, get one that you can ever have. I mean,
I'm not even sure what to say to that. Like, do I publish this? I don't even know. Oh, wow. All right, Dean, what's your go-to dance move?
Well, the only dance move ever worth knowing, the robot.
Can you demonstrate it for us?
Or the worm. See, you're supposed to pick it up there.
Oh. Do I do it?
And then you send it back to me.
I don't remember we discussed that I don't know how to do the worm.
So you can't see the right arm because it's off camera,
Okay.
but then see, boom.
And then I do it?
And then you...
But I have to grab your arm and do it.
Yeah, or you just kind of catch it in the air, but yeah. Mine was great, yours needs work. Sorry.
Oh my God. I'm already loving this segment minus your...
Actually, I'll give myself a B. I'm not going to go too cocky. I'll give myself a B on my worm, and yours is...
Mine is
what? Less than a B.
Less than a B. Do you think maybe it's because you're so much older than me and like your generation was really into like the whole breakdance movement? That was a passive aggressive jab at you.
I know you're calling me old, but It's more popular amongst like Asian teenagers than it is amongst
Well,
people
now,
my age.
come on.
More
This-
popular than it was when I was a kid.
Let's take it to a vote. Whoever thought that my worm was better, just go ahead and comment below and just let me know that. Shoot. All right. People want to know if you had to sing karaoke, what would your karaoke song be? Yeah. Dean does not sing. If you hear Dean sing, it's not singing. It sounds like cats getting into a fight in the alley.
I'm under the opinion that karaoke is only good when you have an exceptional singer, in which case it's probably not one of your drinking friends, because, well, let's be real. But if it is, then yeah, then it's good. Or when you convince your dumb drunk friend that they could totally pull off Mariah Carey or something. You're like, dude, trust me, you've got this like pitch in your voice. You will be so good, dude. You should totally do it, because then it's just hilarious.
I don't even know what to say. So you didn't even answer that you could, like, what karaoke song?
Otherwise, I can't even take it seriously as a serious activity, because it's only good in those two instances. And
Okay, let's say it's karaoke or die. Like, you have to sing karaoke or you're going to die.
if I could remember the words, I would do Bohemian Rhapsody.
See, I would love that. And that's a fun
Or
song.
Paul Revere.
By the Beastie Boys? Can you give us a sample?
No, I need the beat behind it.
Oh my god, that made me so happy.
I will not sully it by doing it out of pace without the beat behind it.
Isn't it mostly like an acapella? Like, they don't really have... Aren't they beatboxing in that song?
No, but it's very East Coast, old school in that it's a very simple beat.
All right, Dean, who's the best rapper of all time then?
All time,
All right, top three.
Beastie Boys definitely. Slick Rick was great. There are a lot of great rappers. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z even says he's the greatest of all time, too.
Well,
Greatest rapper alive is what he says.
Well, you couldn't say it otherwise.
Right, it is the rule that you have to actually be the greatest rapper of all time to be able to say it.
Realistically, the only people worth listening to are the people who are on the fringe of their genre. That's just true of music in general, because the people who are just doing what everybody else is doing inside a genre and just expanding on it are just boring. I mean, and they're the people that kind of get forgotten by history. The ones who are interesting are like your De La Souls, who, you know, rap was kind of going gangster, NWA was going around. De La Soul was just singing about just random stuff and just kind of hippie-ish and wearing bright clothes and just doing something totally different.
Leaving their wallet in El Segundo.
Well, that's Tribe Called
Oh, that
Quest.
is Tribe Called. I'm so embarrassed.
But Tribe Called Quest, still the same idea. Little Dicky, completely different than everybody else, but that's really the only thing that's worth even getting behind, really.
So to be even, name your bottom two rappers? Like two that, I mean, there's a lot of really bad rappers out there, but really bad.
Well, Nelly, of course.
Nelly is so bad. So I have to share this story. One of my friends told me he lives in a small town and Nelly came to town and the show sold out on a Saturday night and it was less than a 45-minute show. Why? Because Nelly has no talent and there's a zero. And he doesn't even have enough of a catalog to fill up an entire hour.
They emptied out their catalog, put it all out there.
They probably even stopped for breaks and him to tell some story or something like that. But the worst part is that even when that happened, the very next night, they added a concert date on for the next night and they sold out again. So people in this town are just hungry for an event. And Nelly was that event. All right, what's another bad rapper before we move on to our next question?
Ja Rule, it's terrible.
See, I wouldn't even, he's bad, but I would not put him in the bottom.
The worst thing is when he does hooks with R&B singers, because they have this very melodic voice, and his voice does not complement anyone else's voice. So you have like the really sweet melodic voice, and then back to the sweet, and then and you're hearing that, and you're probably thinking that I actually played a duo that he did. Like maybe I have like a CD player right here.
Yes, we have a
I turn one on.
sampler.
But no, that was just my impression, and it was that spot on.
That was really spot on. I would actually add in, and I don't even want to consider this person a rapper because they're not at all, but they keep being put in that genre, and it's Post Malone.
Garbage.
That whole mumble rap thing. Man, we really went off on a tangent on rap, but we both really love rap, and it's funny because when you talk to people that are, 10, 15, 20 years younger than us, and they think like, it's so weird that you like rap because they assume that when you're older you don't. And the reality is rap became popular in our generation. So it's, these kids, what they're listening to nowadays, we have to shake our fist at them. Good answer, Dean. That was good. Dean, what would be the best advice you would give to somebody who has self-confidence issues? It's kind of a broad question, I know that, but
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would basically just try to find small things to master. It just makes you feel better each time you get better at something. You learn to do this really well, and you go, okay, there's a little piece of that's something I have control over. That's something I feel good about. I'm good at this. Okay, there's another thing. And a lot of people aren't real coordinated or whatever, but there's something that you can master, something that you can learn. And each time you do, you feel a little bit better. It's just keep building on that. I mean, there's no one big thing that's just going to make you just supremely confident, but you just have to very purposefully just seek out things to, okay, I enjoy this. Let me try that. Okay, cool. I feel better now. Bicycling. Every time you get in slightly better shape and you ride someplace that you couldn't ride before, your world expands. You feel a little better.
It's really true.
And self-confidence could also, I imagine, just be a byproduct, low self-confidence, a byproduct of just overall depression.
Could be.
So, it's a tough one.
And I think you answered it very well. That was probably a better answer than I could have even come up with. And I think for me, for self-confidence, it is one of those things that as you master something or you, for instance, one of the things I'm very big about is when I work in a place that does not have the most stringent of dress codes for the people in my position. So it's kind of like business casual. And I refuse to dress business casual because when I look good, when I put myself together and I took the extra effort, I feel better and I feel better about the decisions I make, which makes me more confident. And so I think taking good care of yourself kind of factors into that a little bit and it's different for everybody. But I think once you feel good about, I like the way I look today, or, I hit a goal. I went riding. I got to go see, 7 extra miles that I've never seen before. It really does. It starts to affect the way and shape the way that you see everything else in life. That's a great answer, Dean. Well, I'm not going to bother you with any more questions today, Dean. I think these were really, really good. We got a lot of other questions that people asked us, but we'll save it for the next segment. Really hope you guys like this segment. Us eating dinner in front of you, asking Dean questions. I told you this guy was hilarious and very, very smart and insightful. So for our next segment, if you guys have any questions you can think of, they can be completely random, funny questions. They can be serious questions. Don't forget to ask Dean, and we will see you in our next video. Bye, guys.
You're welcome.